friends, you must be wondering where in the world I have been lately. And I can understand that. I've just been so busy with our friends from the other world, trying to help them along through their process. I think I have told you guys about how incredibly powerful we are in other dimensions. I'm going to get to that demon video eventually, and that's led me down many, many rabbit holes. But the thing to remember is that we really do have the ability to manipulate energy in these other dimensions. That's how I have been helping them to feel better, is by sending them love energy. Once in a while, I send them healing energy. One of the things that I noticed is that sometimes the tiny ones would go inside of the person, and it looked like they were retrieving that puff of plasma out of that person. So I've been watching this for a very, very long time. And you guys, a couple of nights ago, some things fell into place that really helped me to, I think, put some of these pieces together. I noticed that when they pulled the puff out of the person's throat, out of their body, that puff actually turned into what looked like a person. Now, it was a very thin person, like ghost-like kind of appearance. I couldn't follow it long enough to see if it continued to materialize, but I think that's what it is. Because the numbers keep raising and raising, and I just assumed maybe they were, bringing more and more people from this earth over there to work on this. But I don't think that's what it is. I think that they are incarnating these disembodied people. Sometimes I wonder, how in the world am I even saying this? I was such a plain Jane before all of this started, and oh my goodness, I mean, I've gotten quite an education. So, and I think that because I heard some time ago the story of the Lyrans, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but they were invaded by the Draconians, and they were chased off of their own planet, and they've been living all over the place, horrible, like refugees, for many, many years. And eventually they settled into Andromeda. They terraformed part of one of the planets so that the Lyrans could live there. Well, they were talking about them incarnating to there. So instead of them just going there right away, they incarnated. Their disembodied, higher dimensional level people incarnated there. And that's where I kind of collect. And I thought, wait a minute, could that be what it is? Because most likely we're going to need people who are at that higher dimensional level to kind of help people adjust to the new reality, to the new environment, everything that's going on. And so I do kind of suspect that that's what it is. I'm not 100% sure. I know that they were using that plasma initially to build the new world, but I'm thinking that it might be a little bit more than that now. And that would explain, like, there are many times when I'm trying to focus in on the person who really needs help, and somebody is guiding me to that person. So I'm really focusing in and I'm trying to follow them. But you guys, sometimes it's like looking at a super bright light with shadows popping here and there, and I've got to pick out the eyes, or I've got to trace this one. And then it's like there are two different people who are hosting me, and I don't know if they are different dimensional levels or what it is, but I will be looking at one, getting ready to work on that person, and then all of a sudden that person's face will melt into the curtain. It's like, then it becomes up front. I'm looking at the curtain with the sun coming behind it. It's very difficult to try to trace people and to get just the right person. But I try very hard. I put every bit of effort into it that I possibly can, and I try very hard. But sometimes when I'm walking by them, I say walking, I'm not walking. And when I'm going by them, when the person's going by me, and I'm trying to find that person who's ill, who really needs me, sometimes as I'm going by the others, it will pop their plasma, because I have such a strong love energy, and love energy flows. It cannot be stopped. One of the things I learned quite some time ago, I guess, is that you cannot stop love energy. You can't. I can't stop it. So if they come around me, chances are good that that plasma will puff. Now, if somebody's really sick, then a lot of times I just look at them, and in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, I'm giving you a great big warm embrace, a great big hug, and that will pop the plasma out. And once we get really upset sometimes when their plasma will pop out, and I'm thinking, well, I could not understand why they were getting so upset about it, because I'm thinking, it's being used, to build the new world. It's not like it's not going to be used, because I did ask them if they were still able to use it, and they said yes. But by them pulling that plasma out of somebody and it becoming an actual person, now I'm kind of thinking that makes sense why they would be so upset about the accidental discharges, because maybe it has to stay within them for so long in order to develop to that point. And since there are very different races, I mean, I can tell several different races of people are there. Maybe that's what it is. Like the white hair guys with the long white robes, maybe they are producing plasma that their group can incarnate into. So maybe that's what it is that, it has to stay there for so long. So when it's accidentally discharged, yeah, it's able to be used, but it's not able to be used to incarnate a soul on that planet. I mean, all this sounds like science fiction to me, but I can't think of anything else that would explain it. I mean, if you guys can think of anything else, I am not attached to this. I'm just telling you kind of from my perspective what it looks like. I'm just going to tell you those kinds of things, and you can come to your own conclusions. It's either going to resonate with you or it won't, or it might not, because this is all unfamiliar territory. I mean, we don't know really what's going on yet. We don't have any clue. So when we find out, it's going to be, I think it's going to be pretty amazing, honestly. I want to talk to you about one other thing too that happened that, I mean, just blew me away again. I've told you guys so many times how powerful we are, and that's why you have no reason to be afraid of these demons. I mean, really. And the thing is, if they can aggravate you, they feed off of fear energy. They also can feed off of anger, angst. All those negative emotions can help to feed them. Now, I have not seen any of them around, but I suspect that they are still around because, boy, oh boy, oh boy. I mean, my life in the past 3-4 weeks in particular has been so chaotic. You guys, I mean, I put my water cup in the same hole I always do, going to get my son. Boom, it flies over, spills water everywhere. It's like been one thing after another. It's like I will walk by something 10 times, and the 11th time, it's like all of a sudden a trip on it. I mean, it has been some stuff. So I suspect that they are still around, but I have not seen them because my third eye is still tied only to the new world and to the builders, So I don't know. I have a feeling, though, that they are still around. Again, the reason, I told you guys that I've been able to help by sending love to them. It's helped pop out that plasma. There were different times when I've had to send people away the hard way. I've had to send, and I don't know if you would call them the fourth dimension or the fourth realm. I kind of like realm better, because it reminds me of Norse mythology. And when we're talking about dimensions, I think that it becomes so confusing because when you're talking about dimensions, you're talking about actual relationship, physical relationship, like around your environment, space, time, those dimensions. So I think that realm is probably a better word to use. Now, I've heard some people refer to it as the monster realm. I've heard it referred to as all different kinds of things. I think I'm just going to keep on calling it probably the fourth, just because that's the term that I'm kind of used to at this point. But that is where the troublemakers are. Demons, lesser demons, that's where they are. The dust settles, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen to them. I'd say the first couple of times that I had to send somebody, I probably didn't have to send them. Looking back now, I think I could have handled that differently. I didn't have to send them. The last one, it was a 2-for-1 special, and I had to send him because he was attacking Tau. That is the one that looks like a dragon. I love him dearly. From the moment I first met him, there was like this bond. There was this very strong connection. And I'll tell you, I've been doing research on the demons, and oh my goodness. There's, I can't remember which YouTuber it was, but a while back, he was going through like the different classes of angels. And based on his research, it seems like the highest level of angels might be dragons. And to me, that would make a whole lot of sense because the one Tau, I kind of assume that he's kind of a dragon. That's what he kind of looks like to me. And I have seen others that kind of look like dragons out in the world. A couple of times they took me on the cart. Once Tau took me. He came, and oh my goodness, it was the most amazing thing. He like flew me around everywhere, and it was beautiful. It was amazing, and I was just so incredibly grateful that he did that because I guess he probably senses too how much I love him and how much I miss him. So I thought that was very kind. So back to our powers in this other world. I had something happen, you guys, that just, I mean, I'm still kind of like blown away by it. But as I was doing the healings, I tried to get them to show me which ones they want me to work on so that I don't accidentally hit the wrong person. Because now I think I understand more the importance of making sure that I'm getting to the person that they want me to see. So as I'm looking around and I'm trying to follow them, all of a sudden I get the nod in like an exacerbated look kind of down. And when I looked down, I saw what looked like one of the white hair guys with the white robe laying out on one of their beds or stretcher or whatever you want to call it. And he wasn't moving. And I happened to look at the people who were around him, and they were sobbing. They started crying. And oh my gosh, then it was like, boom, I kicked into gear. And I just sent love energy and healing energy. And in my mind, I sent it in like a like a cocoon, like a spinning cocoon over around the body. To me, it looked like the one that I call Snarly Angel. It looked kind of like him. I don't know that it was for sure because he was pretty far away, because now the whole building is huge. There are so many people everywhere. So I sent this energy down there to the body. And oh my God, you guys, it was like maybe 5-10 seconds, I don't know. All of a sudden I saw something that looked like a spirit go back to the body and go inside of the body. I mean, the only thing I can figure is that maybe he thought the body was no longer viable and he just exited. Did he die? I don't know. To me, I don't even want to think that he died. I want to think that he just gave up on the body. He just figured it was beyond repair and he gave up on it. Because I can't, the thought that he died really bothers me, because I try to get to everybody, and the thought of somebody dying without me getting to them, you know, it's killing me. So he went back into the body. And, I mean, he was kind of slow to get up, but he did eventually get up. And you guys, the next day, it's like they appreciated me so much. It was like they were so many were smiling at me. It was like, I think they realized that I cared enough to jump in there right away and try to heal him. It must have been one of those at the last second things that happened. I mean, I'm still kind of just blown away by it. But think about that. I had the ability to send love and healing energy. So I was able to heal that body enough so that he got back into it. I mean, we really and truly are so strong and so powerful. And when that guy attacked Tao, I saw the look on Tao's face, and it was like horror. I don't know how else to say it. It was like horror. It was like Tao was very alarmed, something bad. So I kept on trying to get him to let go of Tao, and he wouldn't let go of him. I built up my key energy, and basically, I've done it before. And the way I do it, when I really need the energy, when I really need the boost, I hunker down, and I'm like a bullet trying to, you know. And I've got like a little thing that I say, even though I walk in the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, especially not you. And then I just feel my body like building it all up, and I stomp at the same time while I'm doing it. Dramatic effect, I suppose. I don't know. All I know is that it works. And so, in all honesty, if you can keep from fearing these things, and you can keep from letting them make you too mad, I mean, you can tell them gig is up. You know what to do. You know how to do it, and you're going to do it if they don't leave you alone. I mean, and I think in my case, I can't see them now. So they know they can mess with me because I can't see them. So I can't send them off, I think, right now, because there's too much, there's too much at stake right now. I don't want to end up accidentally hitting one of our friends, So I have to kind of temper that a bit. Okay, so one of the other things that I've been picking up on is a lot of people are saying that September the 23rd, which is this coming Saturday, there's going to be a big astrological event. I forget which one. There's like 3 that are going to be aligning all at once. Some people say that it is prophesized that will be the end of America. It will be the end of our banking system. It will be the end of the world. I mean, there's all different kinds of things. I want you guys to remember too that in the year 1999, everybody was scared to death about the year 2000. They were so afraid that the whole world was going to end. And then I think it was like 2014, the Hopi prophecy. I'm not sure, that might have been another year, but everybody was sure that the world was going to end then. I don't think that if there is anything big that happens, it's certainly not going to be world ending, because these guys are working so hard. And I have heard that the sign will be coming from the sky. So those of you who watch the sky, keep your eyes peeled, because you might see something pretty amazing. That would be a time I would definitely try to go film. I know I'm going to try to go film just some of the sky in general. But apparently, people say that somebody who looks like the Messiah, who looks like Jesus, we're going to think, if you're a Christian, you're going to think that it's Jesus. If you're a Muslim, you're going to think that it's Muhammad. Whoever it is that you follow, you're going to think that they're coming in the clouds. But what's going to be sent are waves of love. That's what I understand. And I would ask any of you who are watching this, if you can please remember, set something on your calendar for the 23rd. And I want you to go outside and I want you to just project love everywhere. And I'm telling you, you can do this. And it's real. It is very real. I have popped that plasma time and time again. And now I healed that body so that he could use it again. I mean, this stuff is very real. I never understood really how powerful we are until all of this happened. I could think, what do you mean we're powerful? We're not like Superman. We don't have superpowers. I would fly. Believe me, I would be flying right now if we did. But so I really didn't understand it. But you guys, you really do, each and every one of you, and you have to make the choice to use that ability for good or not. So I think the best thing that we could do is on the 23rd, go outside and just send up love. Send it into the skies, send it around the earth, send it around the people of earth, send it everywhere. Who knows, maybe it will have a positive impact. I still don't know at this point what the situation is with the world. I mean, I don't know. I keep hearing that we're going to have a choice to make. We're going to be able to go to either one, but I don't know that for sure. Also, I found a portal in my living room. It's so clear. I'll put it in this video somewhere. It is so stinking clear. I mean, I have my camera inside charging overnight, which I don't like to do. I try to charge it during the day, but I had it charging at night, and I have a great big old Ronnie, and he happened to get up and look around, and it triggered the camera. And then all of a sudden, there's the portal, and you can kind of see. Well, I can see people like inside the portal, and I would work on your third eye also. I've had to do that a lot lately. I've had to start doing it again because I'm having a terrible time, because once they let go of once they release that puff of plasma, it becomes like this super thick white cloud everywhere. And trying to see them has been so difficult. And, I'm scared to death I'm going to miss somebody. So I'm like a little freaked out about it, because I just don't want to miss anybody. I want to make sure that anybody who needs me, that I get to them, and I get to them as fast as possible. There are a couple of shapeshifters that bring me, and they bamboozle me so much. I mean, it tickles me to a laugh, because, I mean, one minute I'm seeing somebody that looks like the white hair and the white robe, and then the next minute I'm seeing somebody who looks like a dark-haired Elton John. That's why they're just transformations. It's really cool. But I lose them sometimes when they're going out to point out people who need help. I lose track of them sometimes. So I've worked on my third eye. And if you guys remember that, you just take a deep breath and then tuck your head and hold your breath so that extra cerebral fluid goes up. Plus, I've stopped drinking distilled water. I've been drinking just filtered water. And, the fluoride and stuff is really not good. So I've had to work on mine. So it wouldn't be a bad idea. One thing that I found out lately that is kind of concerning, and I want to let you guys know about this, because, again, I'm not attached to the information. I have no predisposition about it, but I'm going to tell you the situation, and you guys can think about it, and you can let me know what you think about it, because it's very interesting. I know somebody who has had contact with the Sabe for many, many years. He even has a special nickname. He goes and talks with them. He has his sister, I believe, comes with him sometimes to talk with him. He has a very good relationship with them, and he trusts them. He trusts that what they're saying is true, and it's honest information. I'm rarely on YouTube anymore because I'm just so dang busy, but I happened to pop on, and his video came up. I've not gotten one of his video recommendations in forever. So I talked with him in the comment section about a few things, because, especially about the ETs, because the guys that I'm dealing with right now are not ETs. They are terrestrial, but they are in different realms or different dimensions. I have seen extraterrestrials with this group. I think one time I told you guys I saw this amazing Andromedan, I'm guessing. I mean, she could have been Arcturian, but I think she was Andromedan. Very, very tall. And I say she because listen to me, just had this female energy about her. Now, it could have been because she was tall, or he was tall and very slim, had the pale blue skin, but it was this pure love vibe coming. I mean, it was beautiful. I mean, it was one of those things where if I would have a chance to meet anyone that I saw throughout this whole adventure, I mean, anyone that I don't interact with all the time, it would be her. It would be that person from Andromeda, because it was something about her. She just had this beautiful energy, and like walking love, you just felt it. I felt it. I could just feel it. So I know that she was helping with this whole process. I haven't really, I mean, the others that I've seen, I don't know, the ones I've seen with my eyes, I don't know if they were extraterrestrial or interdimensional. I don't know. They're both, either way, they're unknown to us. There's a lot of similarities between them and the jinn. But that being said, when I was speaking with this gentleman and we were talking about some things that were happening, you know, the Earth's being built and stuff, there's one other person on YouTube that I check in once in a while because he does seem to have accurate information once in a while. So I just pop in and out to hear him. And I heard him talking about extraterrestrials. And he is of the mindset 100% that they are all peaceful, they're all better than us, that if they weren't at least a level 5, they would not be able to come here to visit. So they're all good. And that means reptilians, that means all of them. And I firmly disagree with that. Because a reptilian came in my room that one night. He honed in on the guy they call Coolio. He honed right in on him, stopped, and just deadpan stared at him. And the next night he was killed. I don't take too kindly to those reptilians after that. I mean, I'm not somebody who would just automatically jump on the like hate band. You know, I'm not that way. But at the same time, there's no way that I would trust one openly. It doesn't mean that I wouldn't, or that we can't love people, but we have to use discernment. The next that I have ran into was a gray. Now this gray was with a group, and there were some of the lesser uglies that were in the room, and the crew was in the process of just kicking them all out too nicely, very nicely. But I looked over and I saw this gray talking to one of the Kiss boys. Those are the ones I refer to as the less uglies. I looked over and I saw this gray talking with him and go, like, it's okay, you know, it's okay, it'll be okay, we'll take care of it later, it's okay. Like he was comforting him, planning with him. Then the gray turned and saw me and realized that I saw him. And he starts just trying to be like, oh, nonchalant, talking to everybody, being a social butterfly. And I know they have telepathy. I don't. I can't hear them. But I looked in his direction. I said, well, isn't that very interesting? How you would be so friendly with somebody from the 4th. Froze in his tracks. Completely froze in his tracks. Again, you know, you have that saying, I'll trust him as far as I can throw him. I could probably fling a gray pretty far. He was skinny. Not that I would, but I'm just saying. Discernment. That's kind of been where I've been with all of this. I have seen some things from people in the 3rd, I mean in the 5th, you know, sometimes they lose their cool, they lose their temper. It's a rough situation they're going through. So, I mean, I completely understand, but people are still people. I mean, we're not perfect. If you're in the 5th, you're still not perfect. Because if you were, you would be in the 9th realm, 12th realm, however many there are, whatever that cutoff is, you would be in a higher realm if you were perfect. We are not perfect, and they are not perfect. And as far as these extraterrestrials are concerned, my way of looking at it is to use your ability to discern, because I'm not going to give them 100% trust when 2 of the 3 I have seen so far, I have seen an Eben a couple of times too, but I'm not 100% sure, but 2 out of the 3 were very untrustworthy. The Andromedan, like I said, woman was just, I mean, it's the vibes, you know, you can feel it. You can feel good and you can feel evil. I mean, I can. And I think a lot of people can also if they would relax into it and just allow themselves to feel those emotions. So, that being said, this person that I know told me that the Sabe say that all ETs are bad. Now, I'm kind of conflicted with this because I believe this man 100%. He's straight up. There's no way he would be making it up. So I believe that he believes it. And the Sabe have told him that. Now, we all have opinions, right? There are some people who would be saying, all the reptilians are good. You're just being silly. He wasn't after Coolio. He wasn't after him. They're all good. They're all higher dimensional. They're all good. There's some people who would say that. I don't agree. I think that I'm leaning more to the possibility of them being both good and bad. And we're just going to have to use our ability to discern which ones are good and safe and trustworthy and which ones we need to stay the heck away from. The thing is, with us going into if the whole planet ascends, which I don't know, I've heard so many different things. I've heard that we're going to split off into two. If we're splitting off into two, and you have a chance to go through a portal, go through that portal. Do not hesitate. Grab yourself and run through the portal before it closes. You might want to have a backpack. I'm just saying. I've heard two different things. I've heard that our current Earth is going to be absorbed and our entire planet is going to elevate to this fifth dimension or density or realm. I really hope that happens because I hate the idea of even leaving people behind. And I'm thinking that there are so many that are on this fifth level. Maybe they could help straighten out the ones who have been part of all of these problems. Pollyanna in me, maybe. I don't know, I just hate the idea of people being left behind, but it might very well happen. It might be that this new world opens up to people who can see the portals. So I'm thinking like that would be a way that they could make sure that people who were in the, fifth level or above would be able to get in, and people who were scoundrels, rascals, they wouldn't be able to get in because they wouldn't see the entrances. I mean, that's the only way that I can think of that it might be a way that it would be separate. I'm really hoping, though, that it is the whole world, because even those who they've lost their way and they've been doing things that are dirty, they know it's wrong. I'm hoping that maybe, worst case scenario, there's an island we can put them on somewhere far away. And maybe we'll send some of the Ascended Masters over there, let them talk to them for a while, try to straighten them out. Oh no, my heart's so big, I hate to think of anybody being left behind. I hope that's not what happens. But that portal, like I said, it opened up clear as day. On my camera, I never saw it. I don't see it in real life. Now, if I closed my eyes and I was near it, who knows, maybe. But they've hijacked my third eye. It's funny sometimes, really. Oh my goodness. But it's been pretty stressful the last couple of weeks. I mean, seriously, you guys, it really has. I've been in the 4 to 6 hour a night sleep club. So, pardon I got bright light on me, having my dark circles. Oh, I'm so bad. But, whew, I mean, it's been a rough few weeks because there's so many of them. And I can't just blanket release them all. I wish I could, because that would be so much easier. I would just go in and, just send that love energy in waves to them, and it would pop them all. But that popping seems to have a purpose. And I don't know, I just think that is really cool if they're able to do that. If they're able to convert that plasma energy into something, some kind of form, it's got to be something. Because like I said, now it could be the dragons flying them in. It sounds so weird to even say that, doesn't it? I mean, like the dragons flying them in. It could be. I've seen dragons outside with them on the rail card system. I mean, it's beautiful, but I can't see anything because it's so foggy. It's so foggy. All I can see is the rail. I can't really see anything. And even when Tal took me around, it was dark. It was dark. And some of this, I mean, it just really blows my mind, because I noticed recently that they switch. They swap me. So somebody will host my eyes. I'll be looking at somebody, I'll be trying to find them, right? And then boom, I'm someplace else. The thing is that sometimes when that happens, it'll be daylight while I'm working on this person. And then all of a sudden, boom, I'm in a nighttime area. So I don't know if there are people in different areas of the world that are hosting my eyes, I think that it's the shifties that do the hosting. But one time I think the gentleman kind of looks like one of the healing angels, but I'm not really sure. Oh my goodness, just so much going on, you guys. But I hope something happens on the 23rd, one way or the other. Just something, because I don't know how much longer I can keep up with all this whole lack of sleep thing. I'm gonna speed this up, because I am going so slow. I'm in snail mode, and I feel like I got a snail brain. So and again, when I do find out anything definitively, I'm going to post it. So look around the 23rd. Make sure on the 23rd too, you guys check online. Unless it's something really obvious where you don't need to check online, you just don't walk through the portal. But otherwise, I would check online on the 23rd and the 24th and just see if anything's posted, because if I see anything, if I see any changes, I will certainly let you know. Our friend Bruce Raphael, hi Bruce, I think he said sometime between like October, the middle of October, and April, something like that would fit the time frame for the biblical rapture. So it may be that nothing happens on the 23rd. They may still be, seeding the planet, because that's what I'm kind of thinking too. There's going to need to be a lot of their people there, because think about it. Even if our planet just pops into theirs, like it just becomes one. God, the power of editing. So if it pops into there, my goodness, there's going to be so many people who are going to be absolutely terrified because they'll have no idea what in the world's going on. They're going to be very upset. Practical things too. Where do you sleep? Where are my wings? We're going to have to know, all kinds of things. So they're going to need a lot of people in this planet in order to help us acclimate, however many go or when we go or whatever. Okay, so this gentleman that I really like and I respect, he said that the Sabe believe that all ETs are bad, and there could be many reasons for that. For one thing, the Sabe are interdimensional, so they are capable of popping in on people. I filmed them in my bathroom, like when all this started, and I played with that little juvenile up in the mountains. I love them dearly, and I'm sure they know a lot of back-scenes kinds of things that are going on, corruption and such. I'm sure that they know a lot of what's going on. It could be that particular Sabe, or the group of Sabe, maybe they only encountered ETs that were not good. I think the most important thing is to not let our guard completely down. You can still love people and be kind to them and wait to make sure that you can trust them. So I've always thought that the Sabe they could kind of be in danger because of the fact that people knew that the Sabe are real and that they have been hidden from us. And it opens up so many other things. The Fae, the lovely, wonderful, amazing fairies that were demonized, because how many times do you hear that there are only 3 classes of people according to Christianity? There are angels, demons, and people. And those are the only 3 categories according to Christianity. So where would that put the Sabe? Well, where would that put the Fae? Yeah, that's where they put them. They automatically call them all these other things that they are not. So many people have been brainwashed by that, So also to try to keep your vibes up, because the Sabe have had access to all of this that has happened, it puts them in danger, because if they were to be the first ones to be exposed, so to speak, I am sure that they know some pretty big secrets that a lot of people would not want coming out. So I'm very glad for Stephen Greer and his disclosure project. I really hope that moves forward, so they take some of the pressure off of the Sabe. But if the Sabe say all ETs are bad, then the government or whoever undercover who has been working with these ETs, it takes some of the pressure off of the Sabe. Because if the government says, well, Sabe says they're all evil and we can go with that, I said they're not going to, rat us out. It makes them safer. I know it sounds kind of silly, but I hope I'm kind of making the point. I'm so stupid tired at this point. I'm rambling. Again, I love you guys, and I'm not going anywhere without posting something online. So if I do see the portal pop open, or I see any other signs or anything, if you can't hear them, they try to talk to me, bless their heart, and I don't do telepathy. I can't hear them. I can't read lips. I'm like deaf, dumb, and blind. I can't, I just can't hear them. So I don't, but anything that I find out that is important to all of this, or anything that will help you get there, I will make sure that I post it. I'm not going to just walk through the portal and say, see ya. No, if I see it, I'll come on before I do anything. I don't care if my bags are packed and I'm getting in. I got 1 foot in that portal. I'll still be online on my phone. Hurry up, the portals are opening. This is what you need to look for. I will. I'm not going to leave you guys out stranded. No way. Like I said, I'm hoping that the whole planet will be absorbed. They will all ascend. Because I've been looking at things so different. From a Christian perspective, I think that there's a lot of good in the Bible. I've found lots of good in the Bible. And in Isaiah, it says that there's going to be a new earth and a new heaven. But I think that it was manipulated. I think that there were texts that were taken out of the Bible. Things were twisted. Constantine, the Council of Nicaea. You can learn a lot from reading that. I still consider myself to be a follower of Christ because the Christ consciousness, the way that, the lessons that he taught us, I think are very important. But at the same time, all I got to do is look around me. There's a whole new reality. So we all have the choice. We can continue to stay fixated on our Christian, Muslim, whatever beliefs, or do a side-by-side comparison. Christian beliefs versus what you see, what you hear that resonates with you, that you think is honest. Put those side by side. And once you start doing that, it's like, wow, this whole world opens up. And then you start getting further and further into it. And it's like, wow, there is just so much that has been kept from us, so much that we didn't know about. And maybe it was designed that way to keep us kind of under control. I can understand the things I have seen. I call the little ones that go in and retrieve the plasma, I call them fairies because they're much smaller than the others. Little Sam is part of them. Oh, he's adorable. So they have some serious magic, you guys. I mean, I have seen them. I've seen these guys taking a drink from a cup, right? And I look at that cup, and that cup has Sam and two of the other fairies on the outside of that cup. So I don't know if they're doing something to chemically change it, but they are amazing. I can't wait until we can actually talk with them because the things that they know how to do. I mean, all these myths you hear about, walking into the fairy circle and disappearing forever or coming back. You think you've been gone 3 days and you come back and it's been 20 years. I think those things are real. I think a lot of those things are real. They really happen. I think that the fairies they have this knowledge and this ability to manipulate all kinds of things. I mean, the stuff I have seen them do is, it tickles me. It really does to see them. It's like, they are so far advanced and yet so entangled in nature and our planet. And everything's made of energy, right? So our planet also is made of energy. And that's another reason why I kind of have a big hope that the whole planet will ascend, because otherwise, I don't know what's going to happen eventually, to our planet. And our planet has taken care of us, forever. We want good things for our planet also. That energy, Mother Earth, Gaia, it is real energy. Living energy. Does it have a consciousness? Some people say yes, like we do. I love you guys. I'm so tired.